Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning trading room. Where's my button? There we go. Let's get the screen share going on here this morning. Okay. So yesterday, as anticipated, the market spent most of the day continued in a fairly sideways fashion, bouncing back and forth. There, you can see there were some pretty decent moves. In fact, after the room closed, I was able to take advantage of one of these moves here to the short side before calling it a day, but we're still more or less within that same trading range right now. You can see the overnight falling off slightly, the pre-market very, very quiet. And here we go again. We got this little bit of a sideways trading range building, both a smaller trading range and a larger one. So, well, I guess we just got to try to wait this one out. See which way the market might be leaning. Might be getting, I don't know, I was going to say it might be getting a little bit more bullish, that little bullish push off of the open. It's too early. And when the market is like this, when it's so congested, so constipated, you really can't call it. It's not like when the market is trending. That makes trading a whole lot easier than when it's stuck going sideways. But here we are, so we'll just wait. Wait and see. They might need a few minutes here to settle in, which is not unusual. And you can see the hawk, very yellow, the falcon skewered by the trend line, the filter all over the map, the eagle and the raptor, the trading band twisting up like a rope. So okay, we're getting a cloud crossover. And now we're coming back with a number 2 signal. So, wow, guess what? We're in a sideways trading range. All right, the Falcon, actually the Falcon and the Hawk, both looking a little bit more bullish here to start. We've got a first micro-macro cross on the Hawk. We've got a half decent looking trend change slash late filter entry here on the Falcon. The Eagle still very, very bearish into that hard edge, as is the Raptor, but the Raptor, we've now produced a number 2 signal after a number 3 signal. Those number 2 signals right after the number 3 signal sometimes will have a little bit more follow through. Okay, back down to the low of the morning. Getting a really big second push on this number 3 signal. You can see we're down here to the secondary support zones. They're very content to keep bouncing back and forth. Yeah, Mark says the market needs a little bit more fiber. Get out of this sideways rut. Yeah, Scott says the market needs fiber. I think it's in relation to my earlier comment about the market being constipated. All right, I'm going to check the top end now. Ooh, Ryman says we've got a big report day today. Let me check this out. That would account for the serious sideways trading we have going on. Sure enough, Ryman, you are correct. Here's the reports calendar for today. Crude inventories, which of course is mostly going to affect the crude oil market, but we got all these FOMC releases this afternoon. These times are Pacific times, so that's really going to put a damper on trading today. I don't know if we're going to get anything tradable. The way the market is just chopping back and forth here, it's pretty obvious that traders aren't really sure which way the market wants to go from here. Which is a little odd in a way, because a lot of times the market will have a bias one way or the other. We're getting a very early cloud crossover here on the Raptor. The Falcon just gave us a trend change signal. I was asleep at the switch here. This would have been a nice one to try. Why? Because we've got a little bit of a double bottom. The test of the extreme, and then the market comes up, gives us a little hiccup, produces the signal. That would have actually been a buyable signal right there. But got caught on my back foot. Oh well, just have to wait them out. Looks like it's definitely going to be a day for taking profit on target if we can get it. My microphone kicked out there for a moment, but no big deal. Nothing. What's going on? Yeah, Mark says he got in on this trend change signal. Again, you know, when you see a market testing a price level and then rejecting it, those are usually moves that you can try to get on board. Here was another one. Here was just a tiny little retest. You know, traders refer to these as double tops and double bottoms. But think for a moment what the market is showing you. It's showing you that it just does not want to go any higher, or it does not want to go any lower. And therefore, it should try to go the other direction. Back into the hard edge of the trading band. Here the hawk has an interesting little signal right now. We've got a red bar buy. Now this is actually a signal that we can look to sell. And I may increase the profit target. And all we're going to do is we're going to, I better get that in and then talk. I'm going to take a look at selling the failure of the signal. Because we're in this sideways trading range, I may look at an opportunity to short it, and maybe I won't make it quite that tight. Maybe I'll go down here a little. Again, just the way the market is right now, it's a little wonky. I don't want to get in too early. Oh, and I didn't intend to take two contracts, but we'll see how this plays out. And now we're working on a first micro macro cross. And now we're back into yellow bars. Okay. So whatever was here has now evaporated, so I'm going to pull the order. It may well still head lower, but oh, look at that. They're going to come back now with the first micro-macro cross lower. All right, maybe I was a little too quick pulling that order. I'll try it on a single. I'll feel better about that. No, back into yellow bars. Doggone it. Okay, there you go then. All right, we got a number one signal now. Maybe, just maybe, market's going to try to press near yesterday's highs. Yesterday's highs somewhere around the 69.25 mark. The problem with a day like today is because of the lack of follow through. If I get stung on a trade, it's going to be tough to make it up. All right, a first micro macro cross signal. And this, oh shoot, they're going to run away on me now. This would be worth taking. I would probably look to take it above the high, though. I don't think I'd be quite so ambitious as to take it right on the hash mark. And what I've done here is I've stretched my profit objective a little. And now that's into yellow bars. All right, well, we'll put that back on the shelf. Okay, just waiting. I'm not sure I'm going to get a trade off this morning. We'll stay with the market for a while still in case things loosen up somewhat, but honestly, right now, I'm not really that interested in trying to risk anything on a trade. Quick little run up there. See if there's any follow through to that. Oh, they're trying. Not much, but they're trying. So had I been a little braver and actually took that first micro macro cross on the hash mark, that trade would have worked out. But I can't help it. I'm a bit of a chicken here this morning. Okay, so in spite of that fast little move higher, looks like the market's settling back in pretty much to where we started. We're more or less mid-range here today. Well, okay, not quite. Kind of the upper third. Well, what do you think? Are we going to get another push up, or was that it? All right, so here comes now the number 3 signal. With a relatively large second push entry. We are getting a first micro macro cross. The eagle is in sync. The falcon, the only one not in tune with the rest of the market. All right, what's this one gonna? Oops. See, I waited long enough. I was gonna say, what's this one gonna cost me to be wrong? Well, the idea was I was going to take it above this bar that was having all the issues, try to risk it down here somewhere. You can see we're drifting back to the primary support zone, so we'll move a couple of zones higher. And by now, if you're in this trade, break even would be a good idea, as it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a hesitation. Okay, well, a little bit more bullish follow through than I thought we were going to see. I thought the market was probably going to hang up again and try to head lower. Honestly, folks, I think I'm going to get stalemated here today. We are developing a little bit of an uptrend. You can see here on the Eagle, it's starting to look like we've put in a bottom. The market's starting to turn, head a little bit higher. I don't know if I want to call this a trend just yet. We are still well inside yesterday's trading range. And as such, we may actually get a shorting opportunity if the market tries to contain that trading range. There may be a chance to sell here. For those of you who are a little braver than I am, you can see the hawk actually producing a couple very nice first micro macro cross signals. You had 3 in a row here, all 3 working out. Another nice one back here. So in spite of the market's reluctance to go very far today or very quickly, there are some opportunities. But yeah, I'm still watching. I'm sure we'll get something here, but I'm okay just watching for now. It doesn't cost you anything to watch. they're settling back a little. All right, the buyer's still pressing. All right, well, once again, there were some decent signals here. This number 3 signal, actually, in hindsight, worked out very, very nicely. Nice little hard edge bounce. Let me shoot a trend line across here. Oh, look at that. Right on the trend line. Nice little rally as a result. And now we're back near yesterday's highs. Not quite, but pretty darn close. Yeah, Mark says, wow. That is a wow. I have to say that did catch me a little bit off guard. I didn't think the Bulls had that much going on today, but they did. My best hope for a trade right now is to actually let the market top out. Now that we're back near the top end of yesterday's trading range, I'm just kind of watching and waiting to see whether the sellers are going to show up and hold the large trading range that developed. Here, just a second, I'll show you what I mean. So here's now the daily chart, and you can see quite a bit of activity here on yesterday's bar. Note the size of the bar. Note the volume on the bar. That is the right bar, isn't it? Yes, it is. Normally, big bars have big volume. Well, this is a little itty-bitty bar with big volume. So what does that tell you? Well, that tells you there was a lot of activity, a lot of buying, a lot of selling. Those are the kinds of things that are a little bit abnormal. We could see a rather big move this afternoon off the FOMC minutes. A lot of traders may have loaded up one way or the other, or a lot of traders may have exited their positions in lieu of the pending announcement. But what I want to show you, let's go here, let's maybe look at like a 5-minute, and we'll only look at the day session. Oops. Okay, so this is just the day session. You can see yesterday's highs. This is where we're trading right now. And you can see the market really stuck around the 69.20 zone. This is all yesterday, by the way, right through here. And so this morning we sort of tested the lows, got down here to these little intermediate lows. The market rallied from there yesterday, rallied from there today. Well, guess what? Now we're up here to where the market started heading lower. So what I'm looking for is a possible rejection from there. A sign that the trading range is going to stay in place. And that may give me a saleable opportunity. But I have a feeling that recent run up was probably the move of the day. Okay, the hawk already all set to short. The falcon working a trend change. The raptor here into the hard edge. So I'm looking for a test of the extreme now. That's really what I'm waiting on. Deep pullback, back now here to the hard edge. Oop. Well, look at that. Oh well. Didn't get the test of the extreme. The market's just not unfolding the way it's supposed to. And you're going to get days like this sometimes. All right, back in the hard edge. Here come the buyers. Yeah, look at all of them lining up there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe I should just concentrate on the hawk signals. That first micro macro cross working out pretty well here today. There was enough of the scalp in there in spite of the rather long time it took for that signal to develop. Normally, I would have anticipated it to develop somewhere around here. And here we got a first micro macro cross lower. So no, they're not going to give it to me. Doggone it. I was looking for a test of the extreme here. Maybe a chance to short a number 2 signal. I thought, we'll get a little bit of a bounce up. We'll come back with a number 2. But no, it's not going to happen. Well, a very, very late retest coming. Oh, and there they go. All right. Well, like I said, they're not really performing the way they're supposed to. And honestly, I don't feel bad getting shut out here today. All right, here's a little bit of a uptick now. I don't know. Even though we've seen some decent moves, there was a decent move up there, a decent move down here, we're really still just in this sideways trading range, kind of toward the bottom end of the range now. Yeah. Yeah, Scott says, what a snoozer. It'll light up this afternoon. I guarantee you that it will get busy this afternoon. When the market's like this, it's winding up for something big. Might be able to sneak a little trade out of here yet. Here's a trend change signal on the Falcon. That might be worth a go. In fact, that might be the only tradable signal here at the moment. See if I can sneak a little trade out of this. Again, I'm not going to get too crazy on the entry, and I'm not going to get too crazy on the exposure either. Oh, hey, come back here. All right, did they slip me? No, hooray. So this is just a basic trend change signal trying to take advantage of a little uptick. Come on, get up there. A little bit of resistance here on this swing high. Okay, we're through that. I'll bring my break even in just a little, maybe here to the primary support line. Come on, you can do it. Look at how thin all these bars are. I'm using the dynamic equivolume bars from Indicator Warehouse, and the wider bars show more volume, the narrow bars show less volume, and just look at how thin all these bars are. There's really very little going on here. Oops, let's see some of these thinner bars. Oh, okay, well, 1,300 contracts, that's not too terrible. Paul asks, why is it when you enter a trade, I don't see you hit the submit button? There could be a little bit of a delay in the broadcast. I know sometimes there's a little bit of a lag between what I'm doing and what you're seeing. That's why I try not to go too quickly. But I do have to hit the submit button, otherwise the signal won't go live, as I'm sure you're aware. All right, well, there was a rather dismal attempt at a trade. Got my break even plus one tick, so enough to cover commissions and fees, but not much more than that. The market is kind of backing itself into a little bit of a corner now that it looks as though it's not going to have much of a move to the upside and may try to move a little bit lower again. We have a little bit of range here to get back near the low of the day. Oop, sorry, spoke too soon. Oh, no, I didn't. The low of the day's around here somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh, right down there. Can't see it. It's overlapping on the support zone. 68.78. And now we're getting a crossover buy. The day is just a bit of a dud. And there's not much we can do with it. So this crossover buy is a valid signal, by the way, if you're thinking, well, why isn't Eric taking that signal? I'm avoiding the signal not because it isn't a valid signal, but rather because of the context of the day. There's absolutely nothing wrong with taking that signal. The market should get up to its profit objective. But given the sideways nature, I'm just a little bit hesitant about getting into a trade. The wild, big swings they're scaring me. All right, they're almost up to what would have been our profit target. No, they're just hovering there. Look at that. They're just a tick below. If you're running a break even, you would have hit your auto break even. Otherwise, break even probably a good idea at this point. My concern is that this recent move higher may turn out to be a bit of a bear flag, in which case the market's going to try to head lower. So break even or your stops maybe below this swing low right here, maybe not a bad idea. All right, we'll put that away for now. Okay, the hawk back into yellow bars. The falcon now starting to change over. Well, it looks like it's going to continue to be a bit of a sideways mess here until the FOMC minutes are released. If you're going to hang with the market at this point, well, we've got a number 3 signal here. If it can trade above this little swing high, we're probably going to see the market continue at least a little bit higher. Otherwise, I would look for another number 2 signal to develop, and that could be a saleable number 2 signal. Bring you back down at least to this support zone at 68.92, but that may be it. That may be it until we get the FOMC minutes clearing the air. So I don't know how aggressive you want to be on the market, but that's kind of where we're stuck right now. All right, gang, we're going to pack up shop here for the moment. I will see you again tomorrow. Be careful out there. It's going to be a very, very tricky afternoon. Talk to you soon.